going to do a demonstration of impulse and change of momentum. We've already talked about the impulse equation and change of momentum equation. We derived that. Remember, force times time is impulse, and mass times change of velocity is momentum. And impulse equals change of momentum. I'm going to do a demonstration and see if we can see and feel, if we need to, the difference between an impulse over a long period of time and an impulse over a short period of time. Now, what I want to make sure you do, I know some of you want to try this demonstration at home. I encourage you, I think you can just watch and listen and see what happens, the difference, but I know some of you want to try this, and I caution you, if you do try this, there is a little bit of risk. I've been doing this for 30 some years and nobody's ever gotten hurt, but you need to listen to my precautionary information if you do want to try this at home. Again, I think you can just watch and listen and see what happens for you to understand the process that's going on. So first of all, what we're going to do, we're going to give ourselves some momentum. This means we have mass, our mass doesn't change, and we're going to give ourselves some velocity. We're going to do that, we're going to jump up. We jump up just a little bit, about that far or so, and then we come back down. When we get to our highest point, we basically stop at our highest point of velocity is 0 as we accelerate up, or as we're moving up, we slow down and stop at our highest point, and we start falling back down. And right before we hit the floor, we're moving at some velocity, and that velocity is our initial momentum right before we hit the floor. When we hit the floor, we want to stop. So we're going to apply a force over a period of time to cause our velocity to go from some maximum velocity right before we hit the floor to 0 when we stop. That's a change of momentum, which requires an impulse, a force applied through a period of time. So this first way we're going to do this, we're going to do this way we normally jump up. We're going to jump up, like I said, just a little bit, and then when we come back down, we're going to land on our toes, bend our ankles, bend our knees, bend our hips, and so on, just like we normally land when we jump. So I'm going to do this, and you can, again, this is the safe part because you do this all the time. We're going to jump up, land on our toes, and we can feel the force that's exerted on us. Really not a large force, there's nothing significant, but we're going to change this now, okay? So again, when we jumped up, when we started falling back down, we were increasing our velocity to move at some velocity right at the time we hit the floor. That velocity changes to 0 when we're stopped. We're going to do the same thing, which means we're going to jump up the same height. So when we fall back down right before we hit the floor, we're moving at the same velocity, and then we stop. We'll have the same change of velocity, which means our change momentum is the same, which means the impulse acting on us is the same. But the difference is we're going to change our velocity over a short period of time. So again, I know some of you want to do this, but and I encourage you, I think you can just watch and see what happens. But if you do this, this is the precaution. If you have a bad back, or if you're pregnant, don't do this, all right? And just wait until I have demonstrated it before if you decide you want to try it yourself. Then we're going to jump up the same height. When we land, we're landing with our toes pointed up, toes up. We land on our heels, ankles rigid, knees rigid, hips rigid, back rigid, shoulders rigid, neck rigid, everything rigid. So watch me do this first, then you decide if you want to do it or not. Again, I caution you, you don't have to do this, you just watch and see. You jump about the same height, we'll land on my heels, and everything was rigid. And you can feel that force going through my body. You probably even hear the furniture and dishes and stuff in the room rattle when I hit the floor. I'm going to do it one more time. I'm going to jump up, everything rigid, land on my heels. And that force going through my body was significantly more than the force when I landed on my toes and stopped over a longer period of time. So when I did rigid, a short period of time, when I landed on my toes, it was a longer period of time. So we'll see how that works out mathematically.